1.
Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast.
There we go. I took the dirtiest poop earlier.
Dave, I mean, other than you taking us out for racist ice cream, what else are we going to go out and eat? Yes, I am your host, TJ Stevens.
TJ Step-ins.
What's up, ladies?
It's
TJ
her.
Rand's perfection.
Yes, God damn it. Everybody said ask us some shit.
You know what? Both of your guys' names are so easy to pronounce. I can't even make fun of it because it's pronounced the way it's spelled. Dollar Bill Dave.
What?
He just lost the title, or at least that's what Joey Styles said. If
Oh my God!
Thank you. If you're Timmy C.
Who? So you get to enjoy my weekly names about wrecking that pussy.
And I go, who spit on you? I'll hit that motherfucker with a shovel.
The location, I was incorrect. Shauna is on vacation. If you ever want to be kicked out of a Halloween party, dress as Dave. Oh my God!
Well, I'm going to tell you, fellas, about why
It's like a red rocket.
Why watching the Woolly Mammoth Bank is truly this has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
I gotta go pee. Tim's got
I
to
do too. Hello and welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens,
Step-ins.
the MVP of Filter Free. Joining me as
Please.
always, Dollar Bill Dave.
Oh my God. I pooped so gross.
You did. You told us all about it.
If you have Patreon, you'll hear about it.
Yes. And Timmy C's here as well.
Play me some mountain music like grandma and grandpa. Sorry, I was singing that with my kid a minute ago.
You don't live in West Virginia.
What the fuck is that?
What?
That loud noise.
That's your fucking air conditioner, TJ.
Actually, it's my furnace now because it's the fall time.
Well, freeze those fuckers out. We don't need that noise.
All right,
texting my wife.
it's bad when I can hear it over the fucking video.
Actually, I think it's still on air conditioning. I didn't think it would come on considering it's 53 fucking degrees today.
Sun's
I didn't
bright.
hear it. I love that you guys heard it and I didn't. I didn't.
Oh,
notice.
it was super loud. It was just like.
I told her to turn it off. But wait a second. It's off. Please remember to subscribe and rate this show wherever you get your podcasts. While you're at it, follow the show on Twitter at ffpopcast. Also follow the network at FilterFreeNet or become a $10 dummy head at www.patreon.com/filterfree. And Timmy, we got a slew of content coming to these people in the fall. If you're a dummy head, what have we got here coming up?
Correct. It's spooky season now, so we got to start putting shit out. We have Legends. Let's rethink this. Footballers getting paid with Tim and Dave. So far this week, although this will be last week and a half ago, Timmy is 1-0. Dave is 4-1. We're winning right now. Only took us 3 weeks to get in the habit.
Hey.
Later this month, you'll have Evolution of Evil, the interactive booking contest with Tesla driving Mike Kolb and TJ Step-ins.
That has a name now.
Oh, what's the name?
Wrestling Rewrite. Think you can do better.
I prefer interactive booking contest with Tesla
would.
driving. Never mind.
I mean, we don't have to change
like-
his name.
And
I
then
like
in
D-bags, dudes.
D-bags. We just like D-bags. Obviously, we're friends of each other. And in December, we will have the box score trivia contest where you can beat the Step-ins.
Not gonna happen. But we do have some updates now on the Wrestling Rewrite booking contest. So our first episode, if you're a dummy head, you'll get a Zoom link for October 15th at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And this will be for Mike and I to run through the software for you guys tell you how to download the proper mods and the graphics packs, so you'll be ready to go when the contest starts. The first actual episode will be November 5th at 8:30 Central Time, and we're going to start with TNA 2004. Will be our first contest we're going to do. We're going to cover 2 years in the game, not in real time, but 2 years in the game. So, and our rules will be you can only play as Vince Russo, who's actually not there in 2004. Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff. Oh, no, not Bischoff. He's in WWF. So let me start over with that. You have to play as Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Jarrett, Dixie Carter, and the wild card, we're going to let you be Vince Russo because he's not with anyone at the time. And then we're going to run for 2 years. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So October 15th, Acclamation show. November 5th, our first actual show. Looking for, again, we're going to stream it everywhere, but you can only play if you're a $10 dummy head. So get in on the dummy head status so you can play some fantasy booker with us.
I'm impressed that you picked the anniversary of the invention of the flux capacitor.
What?
November 5th,
Oh.
1955. It's the
Also,
day Dr. Emmett Brown invented time travel.
Oh, right. Why are you yelling? I don't know when we're going to do the box score trivia thing. I would assume before this year's over, but I mean, you're going to lose. So I don't know why anyone would be excited about that.
December is when we're
That's
doing
right.
it.
I don't know why anyone would be excited about that. I'm going to crush them. So,
yeah, just the way you did music trivia last week. Is that?
I clearly know sports. I don't know music. This has been established on the show for several months now.
Well, for my segment this week, I dumbed it down quite a bit, so we'll see.
Thank you. Hope there's a lot of Chumbawamba on there. I can do that.
I get knocked down.
Literally their greatest hits is that song.
Yep. That's the entire album. It's on repeat.
I get knocked down.
So there's only one thing bothering me this
Johnny boy, Johnny boy.
week. Okay, there's two
Danny boy, you fuckhead.
Yeah, there's two things bothering me this week. But the one is, again, we have to record 3 episodes crazy early because Dave is going on vacation. He's got to take his monthly vacation. So we had to record 3 episodes really early. But the last thing that's happened before we recorded this show was Saraya debuted in AEW. And like everyone before her, shit on WWE. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of over it. That's
You're
played
over
to death.
Over
WWE. That's all
WWE.
they do in AEW. That's
No,
all they
over
do.
AEW shitting on WWE. Like it's been played to death.
Well, I
Like-
think the
Like Tub Thumper in 1999.
it's tub thumping. The theme is, hey, ain't healthy enough to wrestle in WWE? Come to AEW. We'll let you kill yourself.
Well, I think the best part of this Saraya thing is she shits on WWE. Oh, finally, I have a boss that listens to me. And then she gets rightfully roasted on Twitter about it. And then says like, oh, it was just a joke. You guys take this too seriously.
It's an easy defense.
If you can't handle the response of shit you're going to say, don't say it. How's that?
That's why I quit talking.
It's true. You're very quiet to say it.
No, you don't.
I mean, think about how long WWE used her after she was hurt.
They paid her for years to do nothing.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
this was after she had a sex tape of her.
I was just gonna say she
banging
had a
a
lot of
referee.
negative publicity she brought to the company, and they still paid her.
she was all naked on there, looking stupid.
A couple
two
times.
dudes at the same time.
It wasn't even once; it was a few times.
It was a triple threat.
Oh boy! And here's I'm not even mad about that because it's your life. You can do whatever you want. I actually kind of feel bad it got leaked, but I mean,
correct. Because all right, let's clear this up. Brad Maddox, fuck that guy. He's an asshat. He should have never put that out. That was not anything she intended for public consumption.
I didn't even know he was the one that put it out.
Yeah,
Is he the one that did it? I didn't hear that.
he sold it.
Oh well, fuck Brad Maddox, yeah, for sure.
Well, how much did he make for it?
I don't know.
Let's talk some dollar figures here.
Let's talk some numbers here.
Brad, call us.
Yeah,
You
Yes,
piece
you
of
don't.
shit. We'll
don't
fucking
call us. Actually,
we'll
you know
call
what?
you a
You call us.
douchebag.
Yeah, do call the show. I'm sure that'll go over swimmingly.
We're gonna do an episode of Brad Maddox Legends. Let's rethink this.
Over the sex tape. That would be great.
This
That would be
episode's
the
not gonna be
best
called
ever.
Legends. It's just gonna be called "You're a Fuckface."
Had you
Average.
done this with your hips, she would have orgasmed, Brad. But no, you're bad in bed.
Average lays. Let's rethink this.
Like, if you're gonna have a threesome, Brad, don't stand in the background of the camera like a dumbass. You gotta get in there at some point. I can't believe I was the one that said that this week.
All right,
This
roll
week-
credits. We're done.
Yeah, we're off. We're going back to October 2nd, 2003, as we relive some WWF SmackDown. However, before we get to the show, let's see what was happening in your world yesterday. Let's run through some events filter free. Up first, stories that missed the cut. October 3rd, 73-year-old cartoonist for the New Yorker. 73-year cartoonist for the New Yorker and the original author of Shrek, William Steig, passed away at age 95. That's a pretty good run.
Old balls.
Oh, Paul. What's his? Here's a 5-year plan. What is it? Don't die. October 4th. BJ Simons, quarterback for Texas Tech, throws for 8 touchdowns in a 59-28 drubbing of Texas A&M.
You could say BJ blew his load.
He did.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
the
heard
only
of
time I've ever heard of him.
Yeah, that's it. October 6th. I swear I didn't make this up. American environmentalist Timothy Treadwell, or the Grizzly Man is his nickname, dies at age 46 after being mauled by bears.
It's kind of a thing. You had him and the crocodile hunter and all of them. Oh, let's play with these animals that should be killing us.
Yeah.
And then they kill us.
And then they did. The easily irritable animals. Let's pick the biggest and most irritable animals of them all. October 7th. The Governator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, wins the California recall vote, becoming governor.
It's not a Duma.
I love that movie.
That's a great movie. Boys
October
have
8th.
penises and girls have vaginas.
Somebody said that to me at work the other day. October 8th. He was quoting Kindergarten Cop. Clive Granger.
I thought he was teaching. He was teaching my electricity class.
It was not a question I asked. He was quoting me. Clive Granger and Robert F. Engel win the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences for developing methods of analyzing economic time series with varying volatility.
That's stupid. Why is it even on there?
Because we've been doing the Nobel thing for a while, and you guys shit on it.
Did the guy that
But
broke
he
the
would.
speed record give him the prize from last week?
Yeah, but they dropped the
Noble.
hand off.
Nobel Prize.
They dropped the hand off, so it broke. October 11th, Allison Hannigan marries Alexis Denisoff at the Two Bunch Palms Resort in Palm Springs.
Think he stuck a flute in her pussy?
If he didn't, he wasted a weekend.
Correct. Palm
October
Springs
12th.
expensive.
It is. Formula One legend Michael Schumacher finishes 8th at the Japanese Grand Prix, winning his 4th consecutive Drivers' Championship by just 2 points over Kimi Räikkönen.
The cobbler.
The cobbler?
Yeah.
Kimi
Shoemaker.
Räikkönen?
He makes
Oh.
shoes. Shoemaker.
That was lame. October 12th, we see the first images of the dwarf planet known as Eris.
It's Midget Planet.
That's not, listen, Jim Cornette, that's not the proper terminology. October 31st, 13-year-old Bethany Hamilton has her arm bitten off by a shark while surfing in Hawaii, but don't worry, she is now a professional surfer anyway.
She was
I've
pretty
seen
hot,
that
too.
movie.
Yeah.
Saint that movie.
Shouldn't have been
Well,
standing there.
Surfing.
Soul
She shouldn't have been
surfer.
surfing there.
Soul
Is that-
Surfer.
Is that really a movie about her?
Yeah. My
Wow.
kid loves it. She loves to start it where she got bit.
What?
Might want to have a discussion
That's
about that.
weird. I like to start it where the shark bites her arm off.
That's the best part.
Who
I just
cares
love
about
that.
her life before then?
Stories in the wheelhouse. October 3rd.
Speaking of biting your arm off.
Yeah, no shit. One of the show, they tried real hard. One of the show tigers belonging to Siegfried and Freud attacks the duo. Did I say Freud? It's Roy.
Yes,
Siegfried and Freud.
It was a Roydian slip.
Whoops. Ending their careers on stage. a lot of differing opinion on these two, depending on who you ask. And since you asked us by listening to the
Siegfried
show,
and Freud.
we will provide you the information you need to formulate your own opinion. Timmy found dirt on Mother Teresa, after all.
What a bitch.
Siegfried
What?
Fischbacher was born on June 13th, 1939 in Rosenheim, Gau, Munich, Upper Bavaria, while Roy Horn was born on October 3rd, 1944 in Nordenham, Gau, Weserrems in the Greater German Reich.
Did you speak any words there, or were you
They're all
just
German. They were all German, yes.
Everything is got red squiggly lines underneath it in our notes
Yeah.
here.
I don't even know what that means.
Getting mauled on your 59th birthday is no bueno, just for the record.
Unless she's
Siegfried's-
hot.
No. Siegfried's father was a painter who would actually be taken prisoner during World War II in Russia. At 17 years old, after spending time in his childhood practicing magic tricks, he moved to Italy and began working at a hotel. Roy's father died in World War II, and his father was a construction worker while his mother was a factory worker. He took a liking to animals at a young age, and wouldn't you know it, a family friend owned and founded the Bremen Zoo, which, of course, Roy spent a lot of time at. He left school at 13 and became a waiter on the cruise ship Bremen, and that's where he met Siegfried. After being
We'll come back to that.
Okay. After being discovered when they were performing on a Caribbean cruise ship, the two then worked in Paris for a bit before being invited to Las Vegas by Tony Azzi in 1967. Over the next several years, the duo became one of the biggest acts, not just in Vegas, but the world, and even inspired other exotic animal lovers like that fucking asshat Joe Exotic.
I saw him on TNA last week.
Joe Exotic? Oh,
The
yeah.
TNA show we did.
That took me a second.
With both members of the duo approaching their later years in the early 2000s, they were beginning to wind down their careers a bit, but were still a huge draw in Las Vegas. Then this fateful night at the Mirage happened. Enter a tiger named Manticore. After Horn put a microphone to the tiger's mouth to say hello, Manticore bit Horn's sleeve, which immediately drew animal workers to the scene, trying to distract the tiger with raw meat. However, Manticore already had dinner in his jaws and didn't need any of that raw meat bullshit.
True.
Horn tried to escape, causing the tiger to leap at Roy and even knocked him off his feet. As the trainers tried to assist, Roy was grabbed by his neck and dragged off the stage by Manticore. The tiger only released when they sprayed fire extinguishers in his face, the literal last resort they had.
I did that in college one time.
The
I had to
incident
spray her in
severed
the
Roy's
face.
spine. You sprayed a big fat tiger girl in the face?
Correct.
Her name was also Manticore.
More like Manta whore. What?
Oh.
The incident severed Roy's spine, induced massive blood loss, and permanently impaired his motor and speech skills. It was also reported that during the attack, Roy had a stroke. While being transported to the hospital, Roy said, "Manticore is a great cat. Make sure no harm comes to him."
Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, make sure no harm comes to him because I'm going to shoot his dick off when I get out of this hospital. Are you kidding? Fuck. All right. I'll retire only when I can't do it anymore. These words were uttered by Roy just hours before the tragic event. Tiger must have heard him. All right. I'll fix that. Thanks.
Wish granted.
And by the way, TJ, you dumb fuck. The T.S. Brennan wasn't a Caribbean cruise ship. Those didn't exist in 1960. This was an ocean liner that made transatlantic cruises.
I like that you think that I'm the one that called it a cruise ship.
I'm sorry. Would you like to go back? You said Caribbean cruise ship.
You're mishearing what I'm saying. Yes, I wrote that down, but I got it from another article, dummy. I didn't look it up. You fucking dope. I don't care.
Okay, parrot.
Yes.
Crusher cruise ship up here.
I like it. That's a t-shirt.
In February 2009, the duo staged a final appearance with Manticore. What? As a benefit for the Lou Ruvo Brain Institute, which they obviously had no brains, their performance was recorded for a broadcast on ABC Television's 2020 program, just in case the fucking tiger decided to kill him this time. On April 23rd, 2010, Fischbacher and Horn retired from show business. Quote, the last time we closed, we didn't have a lot of warning, said longtime manager Bernie Human. This is farewell. This is the dot at the end of the sentence. How can you let guys go out there and train tigers that don't even know what a period is? They call it a dot.
They're German.
Whatever. On March 19, 2014, Manticore died after a brief illness. He was 17 years old. This tiger lived 10 years after he tried to fucking kill a guy on stage. What is going on here?
Well, since we're being ultra aggressive about minor details, Timmy, you dumb fuck, if you would have read my notes, you would have known that Roy said that the tiger actually saved his life because he had a stroke on stage and the cat was trying to get him off the stage.
Well, he wouldn't have had a stroke if the tiger hadn't bit the fuck out of him.
That is all right. That was conjecture.
I'm gonna bite you and make you have a stroke and then save you.
Look at me drag you off and save you for the paramedics
by the
while neck. I'm trying to eat your neck.
See, here's my thing. I don't feel bad for people when shit like this happens.
Nope.
Because it's a fucking tiger. The tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger, bitch.
Yeah. What did you think was going to happen?
Tiger. New t-shirt, Tiger went tiger.
I can't believe that tiger acted like a tiger. Who would have thunk it?
They're like people at SeaWorld. That killer whale attack. It's a killer fucking whale.
It's in the name.
Killer.
Well, first off, killer whales don't go after humans, so
shut up.
That's not how that works.
Nerd.
Well, they do at SeaWorld.
It's not a cruise ship. It's a transatlantic liner.
Caribbean cruise ship asshat. They didn't exist for another 12 years.
You don't know that.
I do. Carnival introduced the Mardi Gras.
You do go on several cruise ships by yourself with a bunch of dudes, so I guess you would be the cruise ship historian.
Correct.
And you got one more cruise ship going on. You got one more in February that's going to be a huge sausage fest, and you're staying with these two schmucks on the cruise. Going skiing.
Going skiing.
I don't want to go anymore.
I'm going to sleep outside in the hallway.
Yeah, we're going to lock Tim out. Let him sleep out in the hallway with his stupid suits on.
I'll have it this time, motherfuckers.
We'll take
I'll
the
beat
beds.
you up and take it.
I'll beat you up and take it.
I'm going to pull your summer shorts up over your head. We're one story in. October 5th.
Atomic Wedgie.
Oh, slack material, too. That hurt like hell. October 5th, Dante Hall, or the human joystick, returns a game-winning 93-yard punt against the Denver Broncos in Arrowhead to send Kansas City to a 24-23 win, making this the fourth straight game Hall had either a kick return or a punt return for a touchdown. For the stretch of a few seasons, no one was as exciting to watch as Dante Hall. Hall played his college ball at Texas A&M as a running back, but was also the team's return specialist. Hall's second all-time on Texas A&M's all-purpose yards category with 4,707. However, things didn't end well for Hall in Texas as he was dismissed from the team on November 8th, 1999 for violating team policy. Dante Hall has said it was due to parking tickets.
Shouldn't have been parking there.
I'll just let that. Compared to what dudes get kicked off the team for now, I'm just gonna let that sink for a second.
Like
you got kicked off
rape.
you got kicked off the team for parking tickets. He was then drafted in the 5th round of the 2000 NFL draft by the Kansas City Chiefs. After playing 6 games for Kansas City in 2000, he played his next season in the NFL Europe for the Scottish Claymores as a wide receiver.
Drew McIntyre on that team?
He had to have been, otherwise the team's bullshit. In 2002, Hall had his first career touchdown as he snagged a 60-yard pass against the Jets on October 6th. He also returned 1 kickoff and 2 punts for touchdowns, which already tied him for the franchise lead. Then we get here to 2003. This play we referenced at the beginning against the Broncos is still one of the most memorable and most played walk-off wins in NFL history. He caught the punt within the Kansas City 15-yard line, dodged a bunch of tacklers, which took him all the way back to inside the 5. As he crisscrossed across the field, he found a hole and suddenly burst through the middle, seemingly untouched for the win. There were
Sounds
over
like me
11.
in college.
Yeah,
found a
you
hole?
didn't ask any questions. You just found a hole. There were over
for the win.
Sure. There were over 11 tackles that were missed on this one play. Going back to the 2002 season, this was Hall's 7th return touchdown in 10 games.
When it mattered the most during the playoffs, Hall yet again had a kickoff return for a touchdown against the Indianapolis Colts. On top of that, Hall also had a receiving touchdown in the game. In 2005, Hall tied Ollie Matson and Gale Sayers for most career kickoff return touchdowns with 6. In 2009, Joshua Cribbs broke the record. In 2007, Dante Hall was traded to the Rams. After a promising start to the season with a record-tying touchdown, putting him second all-time for return touchdowns, Hall injured his ankle on October 7th. Hall tried to return a couple weeks later, but re-aggravated the injury, which essentially ended his career. Hall accrued over 10,000 yards as a returner with 12 touchdowns. Hall's in the A group of specialists like Steve Tasker and Devin Hester, sparking a debate of whether or not special teams players deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
No. Unless
Yes,
they're
they do.
kickers
Yes, they
or
do.
punters.
No,
A
that's
punter?
wrong.
Really? A punter?
There's one punter in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
Ray Guy.
Landetta?
He's the only one. No, Ray Guy. He's the only one.
Should be Landetta. Hall became so popular that David Letterman invited him to appear on his late night show. Letterman usually invited big name quarterbacks with Super Bowl rings, but Hall, because he was so impressive on video, was invited. Hall became a member of the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame in 2018. Congrats on that. TJ, you'll love this. Hall proclaimed Chicago Bears great Devin Hester as the best return man in the league history during a guest appearance on NFL Network's Good Morning Football in the fall of 2019.
Well, he'd be an idiot if he didn't.
Of course. Since leaving the NFL, Hall has been a real estate agent, a personal trainer, a coach, broke, and a broadcaster. Jesus, get a job, man.
Well, I think I'd stick with one because he's had a few. Also, the last time I checked, it takes offense, defense, and special teams to win a game.
Returners should not be in the Hall of Fame.
Wrong. They absolutely should be. Do you mean to tell me Devin Hester, as the most electric return man of all time, should not be in the Hall of Fame?
Learn how to catch a pass, and you can get in the Hall of Fame.
His quarterback was Rex Grossman. That's not really fair.
Learn how to get a quarterback, and you can get in the Hall of Fame.
Like I
Drop-
think
Drop every pass, and then you can get a new quarterback.
I think Steve Tasker should be in the Hall of Fame as a gunner. I think long snapper should be able to get in.
You said gunner?
Yeah, he was
Fuck
a gunner.
off. Fuck all the way
Did you
off.
say long snapper?
Yeah, I did.
Fuck
the
all the
fuck
way
out.
off.
Get out. You're done. Get out.
All
No
right, let's
special teams. We just draw the line.
That team
Learn
trainer
how to
should be
play
in.
real
That guy was
football.
good. I
The
love
team
that
tra-
trainer.
No, he didn't
He's
dress
good.
up and play.
He's good.
Let's do box score trivia. We're going to start with most successful long snaps in 2003. Actually, no, we're starting with passing touchdowns. Passing touchdown leaders in 2003. Gimme 4. There's some gimmies on here.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, number 2 with 29.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, number 10 with 23.
What year?
2003.
John
The show we're
Kitna.
doing. John
Donovan
Kitna,
McNabb.
tied for 3rd with 26. Donovan McNabb, no. That one kind of surprises me.
I mean, we
Really?
could talk about the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs walking into Paul Brown Stadium, heads held high, Chad Johnson guaranteeing the victory, and the
I mean, we
Bengals
could, but no
beating
one
the
gives a shit.
Chiefs. Okay. We could.
No one remembers that game at all. that you
I do.
mentioned.
I remember
great.
every bit.
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. No, that one kind of surprises
What?
me too. Yeah. I think this was the year Kurt Warner was with the Giants. and he was terrible.
Mark Bulger.
Mark Bulger. No.
Hmm.
There's a Buccaneer on this list.
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson tied for third with 26.
What?
Here's the rest of your top 10 tied for
Steven
seventh.
Garcia.
Steve, who the hell is Steven Garcia?
Jeff Garcia.
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, him. That's what I meant.
Tied for seventh, Aaron Brooks, Trent Green, and Steve McNair all had 24. Sixth place, Dante Culpepper with 25. Tied for third with Johnson and Kitten is Matt Hasselbeck at 26. And your leader, Brett Favre, 32.
Who?
That goes to show you how much they didn't throw just 20
He
years
should
ago.
be in jail.
Yeah, he led with 30. He should. By the way, before we go any further, I forgot to do this again.
Footballer.
Wrong one.
That's the wrong one.
That
doesn't
should be
sound
the
very
new theme.
footballish.
Is just ill-placed intro. Just put it in the last question.
Hold on,
Fine.
let me do this to myself. There we go. Up next category, rushing touchdown leaders. Again, oh man, I should almost ask for 5. There's so many on here. Let's do 5. There's a lot of gimmies on this one.
Priest Holmes.
Priest Holmes led the league by 12 with 27. Of your
Amon
Kansas City
Green.
Chiefs. Amon Green was second with 15 of the Green Bay Packers.
Ricky Williams. I almost said Wilson. Ricky Williams.
No Ricky Wilson or Ricky Williams. Both are not on this list.
Rudy Johnson was it there? We'll try Corey Dillon.
Nope. No Bengals.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson.
No Buccaneers.
Well, no, I was thinking he was with the Patriots at that point, but
Chris
Nope.
Johnson.
Nope.
Work
I don't
done.
think it was.
hold on,
No.
stop. I thought I heard the return of the cricket. I think
I
the
did too.
cricket's back.
I heard it.
I think
it's
that's a
fucking
different. I think it's a cricket, but it's not the same one. I think that one's outside.
Jesus Christ, you need to have your home exterminated.
Listen,
Fuck crickets ever goddamn where?
it's cold. All right, they come out when it's cold.
I've never
Yeah,
had
I
a
hear
cricket
it.
in my
It's
house.
there. The
There
fucking
I live in
cricket's there.
Antarctica and I've never had a cricket in my house.
You live in Central Illinois.
Same thing.
It's Antarctica cold.
Well, we've got the top 2. You haven't picked any of the rest of them.
Let's see. 2003.
If you guys don't get this,
Emmett-
I'm going to list them. And you're going to.
Is he still around?
Edgar
I
Bennett.
think this was the year he was with the Cardinals.
Edgerrin James is a good one. Yeah.
Edgerrin James tied for 7th with 11. There's 3. But he was, he was with the Colts then.
Steven
who's-
Jackson.
No. Great guess, though. I like
That
one.
fucking cricket.
Ignore the cricket. Focus.
Marshall
Freddie
Faulk.
Jackson. Janet
Marshall Faulk.
Jackson.
Janet Jackson, Marshall Faulk tied for 9th at 10.
So we got it, right?
You need one more.
No.
I said 5. You got 4.
So what do we have left? Do we have Mike Allstott? No, he
No.
wasn't. Should have been better.
You got a Bill, a Falcon, a Charger, a Bronco,
Oh,
LaDainian
shit.
Tomlinson.
The chart
LaDainian
LaDainian.
Tomlinson, number 6 with 13. Here's the rest of your top 10. Tied with Falk at 9th. Travis Henry of the Buffalo Bills at 10.
Who?
7th. Here's a name I have not heard in a hot minute from the Atlanta Falcons. TJ Duckett with 11. Tied for 3rd. You guys got none of these. There's 3 of them. Sean Alexander, Jamal
Oh!
Lewis,
Boone County High School legend.
He had
Sean
like 6 in
Alexander.
one game.
Jamal Lewis, and Clinton Portis all had 14. Here's our last category. I went
Where
a
was
little
Jamal Lewis then?
Baltimore.
Okay.
I went a little. We usually do sacks on defense. I switched it up this week. I'm going interceptions, INTs. Let's see if you guys can overachieve and give me 3.
In 2003?
Yep.
We would be overachieving with 1.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed tied for 4th with 7. See, You can give me three. Cricket agrees.
Sean
Puffy
Sean guy
Combs.
that got shot.
Sean Taylor.
Yeah.
No. I'm not sure he was in the league yet.
Dre Bly.
Dre Bly, 7th with 6th.
Pac-Man Jones.
Absolutely not.
We're talking interceptions, not arrests. Stupid.
That's correct. Not intercepted by police. That's a whole different thing.
Rondé Barber.
Rondé Barber. Great pick. No. So there's
Tiki Barber. Did Tiki go play both ways?
No. So there was let me make sure, because there was 11 people just tied for 7th. So let me make sure that this is a terrible spreadsheet. Who made this? Never mind.
Quello.
As you were. We need one more. We got let's see, we got a Brown, another Raven, a Patriot, a Cardinal, a Raider, a Dolphin, a Texan, a Viking, 2 Vikings.
Who was the
And a 49er.
island guy? Revis. Darrell Revis.
Darrell Revis. No, I never said Jets.
I don't think he was in the league then.
And I don't think he was in the league yet.
Good
5
pick.
seconds.
Way to pick it. Carlton Fisk.
Tied for 3rd. No, I'm just kidding. No Carlton Fisk. One more guess each.
Oh.
Get some of these names. You're gonna be upset, especially Dave. There's one on here. He's gonna be upset he didn't get it.
No Bucks, right?
No Bucks. Mm-mm.
No.
Is there a Bronco on there?
No.
James Francis.
Nope. There's Timmy's guess. Dave's got one more.
Deion Sanders.
No Deion Sanders. Let's run through the top 10. All of these are tied for 7th. So Dave got Dre Bly. There's also Philip Buchanan, Dexter Jackson of the Arizona Cardinals.
Florida State Seminole legend, Dexter Jackson.
Ty Law.
Oh, Ty Law.
Ray Lewis. And
Really?
Earl Little.
I would not have thought Ray Lewis for interception.
I didn't either. I was kind of surprised by that one too.
Ripping quarterbacks' heads off.
Tied for 4th with Ed Reed.
Atlanta.
And yes, that's true also. Tied for 4th with Ed Reed, Marcus Coleman, and Patrick Surtain.
Patrick Surtain.
3rd, Corey Chavis for the Minnesota Vikings with 8. And tied for 1st, Brian Russell of the Vikings. And your leader of the San Francisco 49ers, safety, Tony Parrish. And
I don't know either of those guys.
He was a Chicago Bears legend, Tony Parrish. And that has been...
I doubt it.
Box yeah. Actually, the Bears had a great defense when they had Tony Parrish and Mike Brown as the safeties. Those two, you couldn't complete a deep pass. Anyway, let's move on to the next story. October 10th, the mega hit martial arts film Kill Bill was released. This Tarantino film was written and directed by Quentin Tarantino and produced by Lawrence Bender, and it starred Uma Thurman, Lucy Liu, Vivica Fox, Michael Madsen, Daryl Hannah, David Carradine, which was a name I was kind of surprised to see, and Sonny Chiba. In the year 1999, a woman simply known as the Bride is wounded inside of a chapel in El Paso, and the wounded woman tells her attacker that the baby she is carrying is his, just as he shoots her in the head. The Bride, however, survived, as the former member of the Deadly Vipers gang is planning her revenge against her former clubmate. Eventually, the Bride kills her attempted killer, but the victim's daughter sees the murder, and the Bride tells her daughter, Nikki, that she can avenge her mother's death when she's older if she chooses. The Bride then turns her attention on the higher-ups of the Yakuza group. Although the film was presented out of order, the film was actually shot in order. Filming lasted 155 days and cost $155 million. Towards the end of the filming schedule, Uma Thurman was injured in a car crash while she was filming a car scene in the film in which she drives to Bill, even though Thurman had asked the stunt driver to do the scene. She lost control and suffered a concussion and trauma to her knees. Even though Tarantino apologized, Thurman had it against him for years after stating, "I went from being a creative contributor and performing to being a broken tool."
On its opening weekend, Kill Bill grossed more than $22 million, leading all movies in the box office. Overall, Kill Bill grossed a total of $70 million in the United States and Canada, an additional $110 million worldwide. On review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, Kill Bill has a score of 85% based on 238 reviews. The website's critical consensus reads, Kill Bill is admittedly little more than a stylish revenge thriller, albeit one that benefits from a wildly inventive style. Uma Thurman received a Golden Globe Best Actress nomination for the film and was also nominated for a BAFTA Award and Best Actress in a Leading Role, in addition with 4 other BAFTA nominations. Kill Bill Volume 1 was placed in Empire Magazine's list of the 500 greatest films of all time at number 325, and The Bride was also ranked number 66 in Empire Magazine's 100 greatest movie characters.
I think Kill Bill should...
have never seen
really
Kill Bill.
Neither of them?
No.
Well, to be fair, I don't think I've seen the first one in one sitting.
It's not one you want to rewatch. It's just, I've seen it once, and it was several years ago. It was just like, it's entertaining. I'm not going to say it's not, but thanks, Dave.
This is the movie that put Uma Thurman on the map, though. She was huge after this.
She wasn't dance like Uma Thurman.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only thing that came. Uma Thurman had been in several movies before this. You realize that, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
She should have won some awards for her acting as Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin.
Correct. All right.
The movie was terrible.
I love Gingers.
Correct. Gingers. She's blonde.
Not in Batman and Robin, she's not.
I wonder if the carpet matches the drapes.
Not in Batman. Not in Batman and Robin. It doesn't. Jesus Christ.
No, they're mismatched then.
And you may have heard of this movie, Pulp Fiction. She was in.
Seen it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
And that was like, I don't know, a decade prior.
Well,
but this movie put her on the map.
Would Uma was saying it rejuvenated her career be more apt, I guess?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
Rejuvenated would be better than put her on the map. By the way, I'm going to look up her filmography, and we're going to go through it here in a little bit.
Okay.
The bride's yellow outfit was inspired by the outfit worn by Bruce Lee in his final film, Game of Death. By the way, that is a great movie title. Cricket doesn't think so.
No, he agrees.
Quentin Tarantino owns the Pussy Wagon and drove as his everyday vehicle to promote the release of Kill Bill Volume 2. I love it. I need a Pussy Wagon. He licensed the use for it for Missy Elliott for her music video, I'm Really Hot. It also appears in the video for Telephone.
Those are not the words I ever think about when I see Missy Elliott.
No, she's definitely a Pussy Wagon. She's hauling 2 loads of it. It also appears in the video for Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce. Also 2 loads of pussy.
God, stop it. Stop it. I don't know why that sounds disgusting, but it does.
Corn.
Stop it. I gotta get it together.
Why?
Pussy Wagon.
2 loads of it. Whew. Approximately $60,000 of the movie's budget was used on swords and sword accessories. That's a little bit. Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of iron.
They could have just used cardboard with aluminum foil wrapped around it.
Correct. Just seriously.
They could have LARPed the entire movie. Lightning bolts. Lightning bolts.
We'll come back to that because I have a good story about my trip to Kroger this morning.
LARPing?
Something like that, yeah. Quentin Tarantino delayed the start of production because Uma Thurman was pregnant. That'd probably be bad to have a chick getting cut with pregnancy and whatnot. The finale took 8 weeks to shoot, maybe also because Uma Thurman was pregnant. I don't know.
Dude, you live in a jungle.
I don't even hear it half the time, and you guys are like, "We'll find that fucking cricket."
From the jungles of Indiana.
I'm the Kamala of FFP.
Oh my god.
Warren Beatty was originally offered the role of Bill. After turning it down, he suggested Quentin Tarantino use David Carradine, who TJ didn't expect to be there.
Quentin Tarantino? Pizza rolls?
Quentin Tarantino and his pizza rolls.
Which Carradine hung himself while jacking off?
That one.
David?
Yeah.
Was there more than one?
Robert.
Oh.
No, I think it was David. He was one that was all in every like shitty 70s revenge film where he was like a cop that went rogue. That was David Carradine.
David Carradine. Yep, 2009 in Bangkok, Thailand.
That's funny.
Of course, that's where
Then he hung himself jacking off in Bangkok.
You know he flew there just to do that. What better place to do this than Bangkok?
What was David Carradine wearing when he was found dead? David Carradine was wearing fishnet stockings and a dark wig when his body was found hanging in a Bangkok hotel room, according to reports.
Did anyone say lingerie? Yeah.
Anyone see if Marv Albert was leaving right before then?
Well, was there a bite mark on him? Because we know Marv gets hungry when he's horny.
Did you just bite my taint, you old fuck?
My taint. Do you know how much that would fucking hurt? I can't think of a pain that would paralyze me. I think that would be one of them. He bit my taint. What would
Right
you would
in
do?
the taint.
You would just be sitting there like.
Who said Sunday 10 a.m. shows are going to be boring?
If you're not on Patreon, www.patreon.com/filter-free. My face could have been a t-shirt. Just.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
I just started all of our shows at 10 in the morning.
I love that. I love that TJ getting bit on the taint electrocutes him. Like he's getting bit by a fucking 220.
He's getting bit by an eel.
Oh god. Well, I mean, to be fair, if I get bit by 220, I'm probably not going to tell the story afterwards because I won't be able to. Let's move on to the next story, please. October 16th and October 19th. The wrestling world loses two icons in 3 days as Stu Hart passed away on the 16th and then Road Warrior Hawk on October the 19th. I'm going to do Stu Hart. So you guys can either do Stu or Hawk, however you see fit. Stu Hart, the head of one of the most legendary wrestling families, was born on May 3rd, 1915 in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. As a child, his family was impoverished. So much so that the family lived in a tent in Alberta, getting their food from the land and milking cows. It was widely known that the family was so bad off. So young Stu was picked on at school by the students and his teachers because it's 1920, as well as being left-handed, which for some weird reason also made it the brunt of bullying. For some reason, being left-handed in the 20s was bad. I don't understand that. In 1928, Stu's father was arrested for failure to pay back taxes, so the rest of the family was sent to Edmonton. Growing up, the other kids did teach him how to wrestle catch style, which is the same style Stu would teach inside of his famed dungeon. At 14 years old, he started weightlifting and training to become a wrestler and began attending amateur wrestling camps the same year. He would go on to win several wrestling championships during this time and would have qualified for the 1940 Olympics in Helsinki, but couldn't because of, well, this thing called World War II. He even played center. Yeah. You may have heard of it. It was a minor thing. He even played center for the Edmonton Eskimos in the CFL. On Christmas Eve of 1941, while bicycling to his father's house for Christmas, he was hit by a fire truck. Well, actually, no. The fire truck forced him into the other side of the road, and then a car hit him, and the collision broke both of his elbows, both of his thumbs, and severely injured his back while taking off a significant amount of his skin. Whoa.
Hey, Rhino.
I got hit by a Dodge Rhino back there.
It was Neidhart driving it.
A
The road
Dodge
recovery-
Rhino.
The road to recovery lasted several months at Royal Alexandra Hospital in Edmonton. After being released the following spring, Stu enlisted in the Royal Canadian Navy, where he was appointed the director of athletics. In 1946, he was discharged and started his pro wrestling career, beginning in New York in 1946, where he was being trained by Toots Mondt.
In May of 2003, Hart had a life-threatening bout with pneumonia. After a brief hospitalization, he recovered and returned back home. On October 3rd, 2003, Stu was readmitted to the hospital as a result of an elbow infection, at which he then developed pneumonia again. Apparently, Hart also suffered from diabetes and arthritis as well.
Diabetes.
After a brief period of showing improvement, Hart suffered a stroke on October 15th and died the following day. Hart's funeral service was attended by more than 1,000 people. He was cremated and his ashes were later interred in plot with his wife Helen, who died almost 2 years earlier. Stu Hart is regarded by many as one of the most important and respecting people in the history of professional wrestling. Problem
Except
is, he gave us Bret Hart.
Thank you.
And
I'm
Owen.
glad you took that. Thank you. Well, and Owen. All right. So
I like Owen.
kind of like him. All right. Well, since you two covered the fuck out of Stu Hart, I'll go with Hawk. All right. It was while Mike Hegstrand was working as a bouncer at Grandma B's in the Twin Cities that he caught the eye of Eddie Sharkey, a well-known wrestling trainer. Jeremy Shockey. No. Sharkey thought that Hegstrand, along with Joe Laurinaitis, Rick Rude, and Barry Darsow, could make it big in professional wrestling. By the way, they all did. You picked that one right.
I think they're all in the Hall of Fame except Darsow.
And he should be.
He should be.
Hegstrand was obviously Hawk of the legendary and well-traveled team of the Road Warriors. Yeah, they're kind of good.
Well, Darsow has beef with WWE.
Yes.
Is it
So
him
that's
or
why
was
he's-
it Bill Eadie that does?
Both members of Demolition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that Vince is gone, maybe Triple H can mend fences.
I mean, he
We'll
brought
see.
Bruno back.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll see. But I Demolition needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Well, in 1997, the LOD would return to the WWF. But during the Attitude Era, which WWF moved towards a more adult product, the Legion of Doom was placed into a storyline incorporating Hegstrand's real-life drug addiction and alcoholism against the wishes of both Hegstrand and Laurinaitis. So they didn't want to do it, but they did it anyway. Their business.
This is easily the worst WWF angle of all time, by the way.
It's terrible, and
Yeah.
let's continue with it.
Not good.
The storyline found the Legion of Doom crumbling as Hawk repeatedly showed up to matches apparently drunk or under the influence of drugs and began demonstrating suicidal tendencies, which is fucking terrible in any aspect. Jesus. Thank you. Fucking douche canoe of the week.
Cricket.
Vince McMahon.
Oh,
Cricket. Yes. Vince Russo, maybe.
Oh,
Secondary.
I'm sure
douche-
he was there for that.
He's definitely one of the oars on the douche canoe.
Yeah.
Being forced to act out Hegstrand's personal demons on screen eventually proved to be too much for both Hegstrand and Laurinaitis, and both men quit the company shortly after the, quote, puke killed Hawk incident What are y'all doing here?
I remember that episode like it was yesterday. That one always stuck with me.
While the Road Warriors never officially broke up, Animal started making an increasing number of solo appearances after they left WWF, as Hegstrand struggled with drug and alcohol addiction and generally did not appear in many wrestling shows during this time. When his wife checked on him at about 1 a.m. on October 19th, he had died of a sudden heart attack. At the time of his death, Hawk and Animal were working on a book about their careers.
Man, imagine that.
Yeah. Wow. So sad. On April 2nd, 2011, the night before WrestleMania 27, they, along with Paul Ellering, were inducted into the Hall of Fame by Dusty Rhodes. That was a stage right there. I would have liked to have been able to see them all on stage, but Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, and Dusty Rhodes.
Here's the bad thing. If you're our age and you watched, wrestling during the 90s, there's a very good possibility your most vivid memory of the LOD is Hawk getting pushed off the Titantron by Darren Drozdov.
I'm glad I passed out on that. Didn't see it.
If another fun aspect of that story, they got so much pushback from the I don't know if fans is the right word, but they had so many critiques about that angle that the next week they had to bring Hawk back on TV, and he was fine. It never happened. Because I think even USA was like, are you out of your fucking mind? You can't murder a guy on TV. So Hawk was just back on TV the next week.
Well, and what's crazy is that when they came back at WrestleMania 15 or 14 or whatever it was.
15.
As LOD 2000.
Yeah.
That was 14. This is where Austin won. So LOD 2000.
Yeah, you're right. You're 14. Right. Yeah.
They were over like crazy. They had Sonny as their thing, and they won that Battle Royal, only to once again lose to the New Age Outlaws and then just be shit right down. They had something there. Yeah, they're older, but they still had something there.
Yeah.
With the whole revamp of LOD 2000.
Which, we may need to discuss one day about how the New Age Outlaws kind of hijacked the tag team scene from like 98 to 01. No one else really got over.
Well, they were part of DX, so that was what was getting over at that time.
To your point, LOD then, and they never really did anything with it.
Not from 98 to 01, because in 2000, you had the Dudley Boys, you had Edge and Christian, and you had the Hardys.
Yeah. Okay, so 98 to 2000, or maybe even 97. But, no, I guess it had to be 98. But what was the other team that was trying to come up at the time? Nation. None of the teams. Mark and D'Lo never really got anywhere.
Well, they kept switching them out. It wasn't always.
That was an issue too. But there was another team I just had in my head, and I can't remember who it was.
I really thought that the new Midnight Express was going to make it.
Trash. And the thing with when you listen to Cornette, Cornette wanted nothing to do with that because he knew it was going to die from the moment he was told they were doing it.
Because they didn't come out of a box.
And he said he goes, it has nothing to do with Bart Gunn and Bob Holly. They're both very good. That gimmick was garbage, and I knew
obviously
it was gonna die.
Bob Holly got over. Bart Gunn got knocked the fuck out.
Well, it's not Bart Gunn's fault. I guess it is, but he should have been in that situation in the first place.
There are a few things in wrestling that are named after people. You have the gorilla position.
Yeah.
You have the Road Warrior pop.
Yeah.
Which is still used to this day.
Very good. Yeah. Oh, I was going to mention Cactus Jack and Charlie. Chainsaw Charlie. That was their main rival, and that lasted, 2 months? 3 months,
maybe? It's because they put them in a dumpster and threw it over the edge of the stage.
But they always went over.
Shouldn't have been hanging out in dumpsters.
To be fair, they got pushed. They won the dumpster match, but it got overturned the next night because they used the wrong dumpster.
That was a good match at WrestleMania, though.
It was really good.
They lost. They
used the wrong dumpster.
Terry Funk was excellent on that in
I want to
gimmick
see
and
that
send
in
out
a
those.
Money in the Bank ladder match where they have 14,000 ladders out there. Nope, you climbed the wrong ladder. Put that shit back.
We should watch that dumpster match on Patreon.
We should.
We've
October
watched
25th.
lots of matches on Patreon that are
We
dumpster
have.
matches.
Fair. October 25th. I hate this story. Those rat bastard Florida Marlins beat the New York Yankees 2-0 in Yankee Stadium during Game 6 to win their second World Series title in 7 seasons, but this was ultimately their final one. The championship that was, well, as of now, anyway. I mean, they're
I was
still
going to say, are you ending the franchise?
They're barely a team, like a AAA team now. The championship that was bought as the Marlins started one player they actually developed, shortstop Alex Gonzalez, and the majority of this team will ultimately play for the Cubs in the next 5 seasons. Todd Hollingsworth, Derek Lee, Juan Pierre, Lenny Harris, and they were also coached by Ozzie Guillen, future White Sox, and managed by the Kiss Demon Daddy himself, Jeff Torborg. In 2003, the Marlins went 91-71, ultimately winning the World Series. Okay, but year after year, after this, the team's record went down, bottoming out at 71-91 in 2007. The Yankees came in with 101 wins and performed a choke job for the ages, as even the crazy spending Yankees couldn't buy one here. It probably didn't help the Yankees because Kyle's dad, Randy Marsh, was the crew chief of the umpires. I'm not even making that up. That's real.
Who the hell's yelling?
My wife. I think she's murdering one of my children. But
Okay.
Randy Marsh was the crew chief of the umpires. I love it. This shit sandwich series was aired by Fox, which featured Joe Buck and Tim McCarver on the call. The radio broadcast was aired by ESPN nationally, which featured John Miller and Joe Morgan, which should have been the television duo.
Cincinnati Reds legend, Joe Morgan.
John Miller and Joe Morgan were so underrated. They were so good as a baseball duo. WQAM out of Florida, which was Dave Van Horn and John Sciambi.
Wham!
And WCBS for the Yankees with John Sterling and the underrated Charlie Steiner on the call. The lesser known of the Steiner brothers. This was the Yankees' 6th appearance in 8 seasons, but those bitch-ass Marlins would win the World Series from the wild card spot, the second straight team to do that since the Angels did it in 2002. We were 1 game away in both leagues from having the Cubs versus the Red Sox, but the Red Sox lost and the Marlins cheated. With the Yankees losing the series, they became the second team since 1960 to lose 2 World Series to expansion teams, the Marlins here and the Diamondbacks in 2001. Those assholes from Miami started this season 16-22 because they're terrible, but then they fired Kiss Demon Daddy Jeff Torborg and hired some asswipe named Jack McKeon.
Who?
I sense a lot of butt hurt from one TJ Stephens about these 03 Florida Marlins.
I fucking hate this Marlins team.
Let me guess. Steve Bartman.
You son of a bitch!
He wasn't a Marlin.
We don't mention his name on this show.
He wasn't a Marlin.
Maybe Mark Pryor shouldn't have thrown a wild pitch and the Cubs shouldn't have folded like a metal chair in a wrestling match. I still to this day don't think that PP Hands Moises Alou was going to catch that ball anyway. Hell,
He wasn't.
even Moises Alou himself has said that he doesn't think he would have caught it in 2008.
But
here's what's funny.
he backtracked on it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to be serious first.
He doesn't know what he means.
If you go back and watch the Lou Bartman play, Bartman pretty much took it out of Alou's glove. He was going to make that catch.
No, he wasn't. Shut up.
No, he wasn't. Wasn't close.
Yes, it was.
Not even.
All right, fine.
Chicago Sun's Time sports columnist and woman beater / stalker Jay Mariotti said
What
a
trash
fan in that
bag.
situation should try his best to get out of the way, even if he isn't of the mind to see Alou approaching, as Bartman claims. Eat a dick, Mariotti. You're just mad like TJ Stephens.
Correct.
Cubs hook.
After the incident, Bartman released a statement saying he was truly sorry. He added, "I had my eyes glued on the approaching ball the entire time and was so caught up in the moment that I did not even see Moises Alou, much less that he may have had the play." I believe you, Bartman. I believe you. I
That was
wouldn't have
very-
paid attention to anything that was going on in the game. Oh, I'm in NLCS and there's a ball coming even close to me. I'm grabbing that shit.
I'd have jumped over the fence for it.
Correct.
that guy in Chicago at Soldier Field.
Yeah.
I'd have jumped over the fence and kicked Moises Alou in the dick. In July 2008, Bartman was offered $25,000 to autograph a picture of himself at the National Sports Collectors Convention in Rosemont, but he refused the offer. All right, I'm off your team now because that's fucking stupid. 25 grand, autograph a picture. Fuck you. The loose ball was snatched up by a Chicago lawyer, shocker, and sold at an auction in December 2003. Grant DePorter purchased it for $113,000. I'm sorry, $113,824.16 on behalf of Harry Carey's restaurant group. He was dead. What's he doing? Why is
It's
he
his
owning? Why is he
his
owning
restaurant.
restaurants and buying balls? On February 26, 2004, it was publicly detonated by special effects expert Michael Lantieri. All right, stop. You paid $113,824.16 for a ball. By the way, it's an auction. So why are you bidding in pennies? And then you're going to blow that shit up? Fuck. In 2005, the remains of the ball were used by the restaurant in pasta sauce. Huh? While no part of the ball itself was in the sauce, the ball was boiled and the steam captured, distilled, adding to the final concoction. What the fuck are you idiots doing?
That's dumb.
What is going on? What is happening in Chicago, TJ?
Oh, well, a lot.
Bartman received a championship ring from the Cubs owner Tom Ricketts and the Ricketts family as a special gift on July 31st, 2017. TJ, Chicago, weird town, man. They're
So
boiling, blown up $100,000 baseballs and
I mean,
making
we
pasta
should-
sauce out of it.
we should bring up that
This spaghetti tastes like a fucking baseball.
all I taste is dirt. This moment did ruin essentially Steve Bartman's life for the next 13 years.
Well, he could have fixed it because they kept offering money for shit, and he's like, "No, I don't want it."
Well, the Marlins, if you remember when they went to the World Series, they offered to put him up in Miami in a hotel.
Yeah, that's a
And
you
he
problem
turned it
at
down.
that point. Fuck him.
He moved his parents. He had to move his parents out of. I think they lived in Arlington Heights because they were getting bomb threats.
Arlington Heights, trash town.
But he never left. He's still in Chicago, and I heard a great story by Jeremy Schaap he did for ESPN. They wanted him to do a follow-up interview with Bartman, and this was a decade later. And he found him. He hired a PI, found him where he worked, and was in the parking garage and saw him. And then talked to Bartman, and he felt so bad for him he never released the interview. And then when the Cubs offered to bring him in as a special guest, he actually offered Bartman to come and throw the first pitch out for Game 1 of the World Series, and he turned it down.
He's a recluse after that. Of
Yeah.
course, who could blame him, motherfucker?
I know. I'm not
threatening
arguing
to
at
kill
all.
him.
So, since we have a
He shouldn't have been sitting there.
a disagreement here about whether or not Moises Alou would have caught the ball,
He wouldn't have.
He would
because he would have. He
Well,
definitely
he was
would
a
have.
trash baseball player, so he definitely wouldn't have.
That's not true at all.
Probably on steroids at that point.
I remember
have-
watching this live with my roommate, who's from Indianapolis, huge Cubs fan, Cubs season ticket holder.
Is she
When I
is
was
she
at-
an Indiana fatty?
No, when I was in the Army, it was my Army roommate, and he absolutely pulled a David Kyle and went crazy and punched out doors. And
So this game was actually the first date I ever went with my wife. We went to my friend's house and watched this game.
Maybe you should have bought the tickets and sat in Bartman's seat, and then you'd have won.
So I have the clip here.
Okay, show it.
So here we go. Oh, for God's sakes.
Good job. I'm glad we can sit here and watch this.
Can you see it?
No.
God damn it.
I'm watching it on my phone.
Fucking Google Chrome.
I'll look
I
it up.
can't-
Hold on.
Let me see if I can.
Steve Bartman hero.
What's funny is there's like 3 other guys trying to grab the ball too, but Steve Bartman's the one who catches all the flack.
Yeah, one of them was they did a 30 for 30 on this. One of them was a bartender from Chicago, and he said he felt terrible, but they had to put Bartman in the prison cell in Wrigley just to hide him.
They escorted him out. They didn't put him in a prison cell.
No, they took him under the stadium. They couldn't take him out.
That's horseshit. I'm looking at the still. No way Moises Alou is catching that shit.
I'm watching the clip. Luis
His
Castillo's
glove is
at bat.
closed, for Christ's balls.
He thought he already caught it.
Yeah. He wasn't catching shit. That
They
dude
should
couldn't
get
catch
mad at
two.
that chick. That one right there. It was her fault. Find her.
God damn.
Threaten her family.
I'm watching it again. And
This is TJ watching it.
why does that guy wear a Texas Rangers jersey? I'm watching it again as the ball's coming down. Here's a loose glove. Here's Bartman's hand. It's right above it.
And a loose glove is closed. He ain't catching it with a closed glove.
All right, so what's next, Timmy? You gonna lay some music on us this week?
Timmy's karaoke corner. Is that what we're gonna go to?
I mean, is that if that's what you're calling it?
All right, I need an intro. Producer, give me an intro. Goddamn.
Boy, I didn't see this coming.
Timmy's karaoke. Tim's karaoke.
Let's try this one.
Tim's karaoke.
He just lost the title, or at least that's what Joey Styles said. He's
Oh my God!
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Love it.
I like mine better.
All right. Song number 1. Fact number 1. This song features the Florida State University war chant.
Shake your tail feather. Woo!
Dave
got it on the first fucking clue.
Weird. When you cater right to him, he gets it right. That's weird.
Fact number 2, the song was Fact number 2, the song was on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, and this is Nelly's third number 1 hit. Also Murphy Lee's first number 1 hit.
I forgot to do this for Dave's answer.
Let me see you shake it. Oh, to the floor. I like it. Song number 2. This is the first song released from the Shock and Y'all album.
I've heard of that album before. Is that country?
Fact number 2. It was covered in 2006 by Sammy Hagar. And fact number 3, it inspired a chain of restaurants owned by Toby Keith.
Oh, Whiskey for My Men.
Incorrect.
Beer for my horses.
Same song.
That is the same song.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
That is not Toby Keith.
No, that's Kenny Chesney. What was the other hit he had that year? Outside of the 9/11 song, there was another one.
Dave said this several times in Schaumburg. I love this bar.
Oh, lame.
The
My
place.
kind of place.
Thank you.
Put
That's
some
funny. I
big smile on your face.
thought these were the easy ones. Okay, now to
Come
the hard
as
one.
you are.
This would be fun.
I mean, if you
Song
go back,
number 3.
if the listeners want to go back far enough, they can hear a very extensive clip on me shitting on Toby Keith. So it's not a huge shock that I missed that one.
I love this bar. I
Song
love
number 3.
NASCAR.
There,
My
that
kind of race.
I should have put that because that was one of the facts. I was like, oh, it was parodied, but I didn't know if you would know whatever that guy's name was, Buford T. Justice or
Oh yeah, I know Buford T. Justice.
Steven Seagal sung that.
Ugh,
Steven Seagal.
Under Siege.
Fact 1. This is the 3rd single from the Three Doors Down's album, Away from the Sun.
Superman.
This is the 3rd song. By the way, the song is not Superman. It's
No.
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite.
Is it Loser?
No. Number
That's
2.
No,
Brett-
3 Hours Down on the Loser song too.
Brad Arnold says the song is about lonely nights on the road.
Oh, I'm Here Without You.
I'm here.
Hit it,
without
DJ,
you,
ding!
baby. My dream.
And to help you guys, I was gonna say fact number 3. It's not Kryptonite or When I'm Gone.
I'm here without you, baby.
You're still with me in my dreams. I think about you,
girl.
baby.
And I dream about you all the time.
Catch
Yeah,
all this
without
on the
you,
Jericho cruise in
Oh,
February.
for sure.
I'll
Tonight,
tear
girl,
that shit down.
it's only you and me.
Wow, I really didn't think that was gonna be the superstar of this show. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there's also this we forgot to do. Hey!
And now it's time for Dave's Faves.
Oh,
Movie
this is
time,
new.
boys.
Hit the intro.
I love that we have.
Oh, we
no
don't
idea-
have that yet.
Oh, yeah, we do.
American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males.
So whoever listens to this that is good with audio, we need a song that goes, David's faves, David's faves, David's faves.
Dave's Faves.
You broke me. It's
Dave's
funny.
Faves. Dave's Faves. All right, here we go. Movie number 1, October 2003. Overly enthusiastic guitarist Dewey Finn
School of
gets
Rock.
thrown.
Good job.
Hey! Who was a fan of School of Rock?
I love that movie.
Never seen it.
We actually that was almost a story for this show, but we turned it down for Kill Bill.
Huh.
Good
I
job,
saw it
Dave.
one time when I was doing.
Dave's like,
Oh.
welcome to my segment. Half a sentence.
I saw that movie one time when I was doing. What's that duty thing you had to do in the army, like overnight?
Oh,
CQ duty.
CQ duty, yeah.
Yeah, watched it on the
Oh.
on my laptop.
You had a
So, all right.
laptop? They didn't invented those when I was in the army.
Well, I'm not 112, bitch.
It's true.
Correct.
I was watching on my catch capture.
I had a Viewmaster. Just click, 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 click.
All right, if you guys don't get this one, I'm kicking you in the balls.
Well, he got the last one 3 words.
In this remake of the horror classic, a
Psycho.
group of no, a
Texas
group
Chainsaw
of
Massacre.
oh goddamn, I can't even get to the first sentence.
We should call it Name That Tune. I
You-
can
you
name it
can't-
in 3 words.
You can't list the movies. I literally listed to you guys to pick which one we're going to cover. So I'm 2 for 2.
Name that
Anybody
movie.
seen it?
Yes. I have seen
Yeah, I
the new
saw it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's really
It's
good.
terrible.
Wrong.
Compared to the original, terrible.
It had Jessica Biel in it, so this one wins.
And how?
She had a shirt on, so it loses.
All right. Final movie number 3.
I can name it in 3 words.
Matt Lee Whitlock. Yep, eat a dick. Is the police chief of a small Florida town going through a divorce with his detective wife, Alex. He begins a passionate affair with Anne, only to find out that she's stricken with terminal cancer. Matt steals a large sum of money confiscated from a drug bust in order to pay for Anne's treatment. But when she apparently dies in a suspicious fire, the money disappears and all the clues point to Matt as the culprit.
The Fugitive.
This movie starred Denzel Washington as Detective Matt Lee Whitlock.
The Man on Fire?
Flight. No, he was
That
a
was like
pilot. In
12
that.
years later.
I don't know Denzel films.
He did like 90 in this 5-year stretch. I know it's not John Q. I know it's not.
Philadelphia.
That was like 1991.
One more clue. His wife was Eva Mendes.
Training Day?
Hitch.
Bitch, Denzel, not Will Smith, stupid.
Well, Eva Mendes.
I know it's not Training Day. That's not the plot of the movie. I have no idea.
The movie is Denzel Washington, Out of
Time.
Welcome to Dave's B-Movie Corner.
Bitch, that movie made over $1 million.
Over $1 million. The entire budget of the movie was that Hawaiian shirt he was wearing on the cover.
Let's see. It made at the box office. It made $55.5 million
On a budget of $94 million. 93 was that shirt.
Let's see.
TJ, take us to the wrestling, please.
Let's go to WWF SmackDown from October 2nd, 2003. We are in the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and our announcers are Michael Cole and Taz. We start with the Ruthless Aggression era signature, and I'm looking forward to watching and discussing this show as I was a senior in high school here and dating my now wife during the show, so I wasn't watching wrestling a whole lot here because I was busy getting not laid. So this should be new for me. I had gone to WrestleMania 19 and 03 of earlier in the year, but I hadn't really watched it after that. So Michael Cole and Taz welcome us to the show from Milwaukee, and we get a glimpse of our main event for the evening, a star-studded tag team match pitting The Undertaker and Kurt Angle against John Cena and the WWE Undisputed Champion Brock Lesnar.
Why was SmackDown not live back in the day?
It wasn't live for a long time.
I know. Why?
I don't know. I think it was because it was on UPN. And they just didn't deem it a big deal.
Handle live.
Well, I don't think they cared enough about UPN to do it live. So I think it's the problem. Match 1. Here comes the WWE Tag Team Champions in the form of Los Guerreros as the United States Champion Eddie Guerrero defends the title against Matt Hardy with Shannon Moore. Eddie is already crazy over here as the crowd erupts when he comes out, and we're just a few months away from Eddie's run with the world title. I always liked Matt Hardy, but didn't really find his stride as a singles competitor until he turned heel against his brother Jeff, in my opinion. This match is the story of Matt taking advantage of Shannon Moore being outside while attacking Eddie's midsection. Hardy gets a power bomb on Eddie and lands kind of weird and only gets a 2 count, and the crowd is into this match hardcore. Then Matt hits the side effect, but Eddie kicks out again. Hardy gets overconfident, which allows Eddie to make his comeback and hits the 3 amigos. Then he goes for this frog splash, but Hardy hits a superplex. After some back and forth, we get the Eddie deceit as Chavo takes the belt from Hardy, but then Jimmy Corderas. That's what I was supposed to say. After some back and forth, we get Eddie deceit as Corderas takes the belt from Hardy, but then Chavo hits Hardy with the other tag belt, and Eddie gets the win.
Text to type. I get it.
No, I hand typed that one. I have no excuse.
Am I the only one that doesn't get the Matt Hardy appeal? Him and Jeff have both never done anything for me. Nothing.
I thought he was the better of the two. And I thought when a heel Matt Hardy against Jeff was great.
And whatever happened to Shannon Moore? I'm surprised he hasn't been signed by AEW to never be used.
I don't know if he wants to.
But this crowd was hot for Guerrero. I'd forgotten how over he was in this spot. Like,
Correct.
I mean, when he beat Brock Lesnar for that belt, everybody went nuts. The I lie, cheat, and steal gimmick for Guerrero, awesome. Guerrero winning in shady ways as a face was good shit.
Unlike you assholes, I loved the Matt facts on Hardy's entrance here. I thought
Those
that
were
was a
great.
good way to. It was a good way to get him over.
Those were great.
I will never forget. Matt strongly dislikes mustard.
Wasn't that this one?
Nope. This was something different. I didn't pay attention to it too much, but I was like, oh, that's fun. Move along. Shannon Moore looks like the original Tyler Breeze, which is a little weird. But Eddie's back here showing
Oh yeah.
probably what killed him.
Eddie had he got it.
And later on in the show, you'll see like the front too, like he was just covered in acne. It was someone should have stepped in and terrible. But my take is Matt was in phenomenal shape here. I don't remember him being in that good a shape ever. He always was kind of the chubbier Hardy brother.
Yeah.
And so good on him. But do you think the waitress at the local Chinese buffet was pissed when Matt stole her pants? Because that's what he's wearing here.
I never did understand Matt Hardy or even Jeff's ring gear. I never got that.
Loved the finish. It was great.
So I have two questions for you guys as we progress through this show. And actually for the listeners too. Did you guys know that Vince McMahon faced his daughter in an I Quit match at No Mercy in 03?
Yes, it was 2 days before her wedding.
Before her wedding?
Yes. When
Now,
she
granted, I
married
didn't-
Triple H.
For realsies. Now, granted, I wasn't watching here, but I saw this in the pre-up and I was like, what? What?
Yeah.
How about this? Did you know that Bradshaw released a finance book here in the fall of 03?
I did.
Dave,
Do
do
you
you
have
own
it?
it?
No, but Bradshaw was on. He like made a ton of money on Wall Street, and he was on Fox Business all the time. back
His
in these
wife made a ton of money on Wall Street, and she basically fed it to him.
days. Well, is what it is.
I take it.
Correct. I like money.
Up next, we see tickets go on sale at Madison Square Garden for WrestleMania 20 and the people waiting in line. Then we see Josh Matthews interviewing John Cena as he arrives in the arena and is asking Cena about being in this tag match tonight. I kind of regret not watching this Thugonomics version of John Cena. Matthews was cheesy as shit, but Cena was good here in this promo. Up next, we see the Guerreros backstage celebrating when the Big Show comes around the corner, and they ask about last week. Big Show replies by saying he doesn't like Eddie and that he doesn't like his kind. Whoa.
Maybe he's talking about liars.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Cheaters?
I don't think that's what he meant either.
Steelers?
Steelers.
Nope. No,
Nobody likes Steelers.
Because he literally stole a burrito later in the show, which we'll get to. So, I mean, he can't. That's just being a hypocrite.
I don't know. I think WWE completely screwed up with Big Show. Hogan is the one that talked Big Show into leaving WCW and going to WWE because Vince would know how to use him. And I don't think Vince ever used him right.
No.
I'm not
No.
going to argue that, but to be fair, I mean, it's not like Big Show lost his career because he was improperly used. He got paid $10 million a year for 10 years. Man made $100 million. You could put porn out of me, doing unspeakable things for $100 million.
No. No, you can't.
Not into money?
Not
Okay.
into you naked.
Nobody
Join
wants
the
to
cl-
see your butthole.
join the
I'm
club.
just saying.
You're welcome.
I don't ever need to see your butthole.
What about for $100 million?
I don't
Nope.
need to see your dirty cat door. I'm good.
Why has he got kitty litter in his ass hair?
I guess at least he's responsible. I guess he's trying
And
to
why
be
is it
considerate.
purple? All right. Them calling show Baby Huey popped me big time because I love people getting made fun of.
Well, to Dave's credit here about Hogan telling the Giant at the time to go to WWE, I'm sure Hogan envisioned them using them as his Andre, the new Andre.
Yeah.
Like they tried to do WCW. And when Show debuted, it was phenomenal. But then they had, I'll never forget, for my 15th birthday, I had friends over, we watched WrestleMania 2000.
You had friends?
I did, not a lot. There was like 3 of them. But
Okay.
we watched the main event of 2000, which was Big Show, Mankind, or Mick Foley, The Rock, and Triple H in a title match. And the match lasted, I think it was 27 minutes overall. Do you guys know how long the Big Show lasted?
Not very.
7.
5. Foley lasted 13. Big Show lasted 5 and was gone. Like they just. Now that I
But
know
then
there's
after that, he did his gimmick where he was like dressing up as other wrestlers. He was the showster and Shokishi and all that shit.
and I
So it
know
was stupid.
if someone from the WWE was here, they'd be making an argument about his weight and his health and all that other stuff.
All right. So I have a question. Do you think maybe it was because Big Show actually had too much personality?
Could be.
Because you talk about, like Dave was like, he was Shokishi and they gave him these characters. Well, Andre couldn't do characters. There was no chance Andre was ever going to do a character.
The
Andre
biggest
Cabrera-
problem was
Show-
they brought him in. They
Show
brought
was
him in.
actually
He
an actor.
They brought him in. He threw Austin through the damn ring, the
Cage.
cage.
Yep.
His very first match was on Raw against Austin, and he got pinned.
Yeah.
And then he went to WrestleMania and lost by disqualification at WrestleMania.
At least he lost by DQ.
And then by the end of that year, he's the champion, being drug away on his dad's casket with a hearse with chain to it, looking
Like
like
I
a
said,
damn dummy.
Do you think that he had too much personality that Vince was
Do
like,
you-
God damn, I could use
Do you
it?
guys remember what day exactly he lost the world title to Triple H?
Mm-mm.
January 1st, 2001. He lost on New Year's Day. It was a special New Year's Day edition of Raw, and he lost the world title to Triple H.
I think it was 2000,
Anyway.
not 2001.
Was it 2000? No,
Yeah.
bad.
Because I wasn't in the army.
Oh, what? Yeah, because that set up the Cactus Jack Triple H. Yeah, you're right. Up next, Chavo is getting on Eddie's case because he didn't retaliate against the Big Show. And then Eddie pushes Chavo against the wall and says he will show him real Latino heat.
In a burrito.
In a burrito. Match 2. Don't spoiler alert, bitch. Match 2. APA versus the Bash. By the way, this might be the most racist edition of SmackDown I've ever watched. Match 2. The APA versus the Basham Brothers with Shaniqua. Bradshaw also had short blonde hair, so I'm guessing he's about to make his heel turn. Ron Simmons did a drop toe hold in this match.
His name's former WCW World Heavyweight Champion and Florida State Seminole legend, Ron Simmons, bitch.
Actually, technically, it's Farouk, if you want to get technical. Shaniqua gets involved in the match, allowing for a blindside attack on Bradshaw. Eventually, JBL makes a tag to Farouk, who hits a spine buster, but the pin's broken up. Then we get a ref bump And then JBL was laid out by Shaniqua's big boot, which, I mean, to be fair, it was bona fide. And then we get a double team on Farouk for the win. After the match, JBL hits a clothesline from hell on a woman, and it's a small miracle all of her lady bits stayed in her outfit.
It's a small miracle that all of her inner bits stayed in her body.
It's true.
He hit that shit full force.
Oh, it was rough. It was a bad one.
Say what you want about Bradshaw, but that damn clothesline from hell was brutal on everybody. It didn't matter.
He didn't care. He's like, I'll hit you for a woman. Fuck it. I got money.
All right, so I did a little digging. Want to know how WWE dominated the PWI Top 500 was in 2003?
No,
I hadn't considered it.
I don't.
PWI ranked Doug Basham at 51 and Danny Basham at number 65.
All right,
Wow.
stop right there. If you're doing these rankings and you did that, shoot yourself in the head with a gun.
Well, Cornette's always been very favorable of Doug Basham.
But not
little
Danny. Fuck Danny.
All right, for a little context on this year's ranking, Nick Aldis was ranked number 60.
Trash.
Finn Balor was ranked number 63.
Wow.
And Malachi Black was ranked number 73.
Mind you, this was 19 years ago.
I want the writers of 2003 in that. What is it? The PW. Fuck them. Go away.
After the clothesline from hell on Shaniqua was written off television for a few weeks. She returned from her injury with new breast implants.
Nice.
And WWE explained that her breast permanently swelled from the force of the clothesline.
Holy shit. What? Oh, Lord.
Oh my God.
How great is that?
We can't even,
Terrible. That is
We
the
can't
worst thing ever.
we can't even blame that on Vince Russo. He's not here.
She got clotheslined so hard her titties grew.
It makes perfect sense. All of it makes sense.
All right, what did she go on to do though?
She's
Yep.
now like a women's college basketball official.
Yeah, she was out of wrestling by 05.
Yeah.
Has the swelling gone down?
It's permanent, man. Shit's permanent.
Yeah, shit.
Permanent swelling.
You heard Josh Matthews. That shit's forever.
Jesus. So Dave just nutted because Florida State Seminole legend, WCW World, whatever, Ron Simmons just came out.
I'm gonna tell you, I was sitting here right here in this spot, and I was watching the show, and I heard the APA music. I just went, "Fuck."
Same. By the way,
I
the
started dancing.
Bashams are from God's country, Columbus, Ohio.
Where?
Yeah, exactly. But the Bashams look like trolls compared to the APA. CTJ, I didn't say midget that time.
Good job, you. Way to avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
Dope.
And that clothesline that Bradshaw hit on Shaniqua, Jesus Christ. What is he doing?
In the
He
face.
laid that fucker in.
He could have killed
In the
that
face.
woman. Terrible.
She shouldn't have been standing there.
Shouldn't have been swelling your boobies there.
But look what he did for her. He made her titties grow. You know how much
What a
money
guy.
people pay for that?
What a
In
philanthropist.
perpetuity.
Match 3. Speaking of swollen titties, we get A-Train at ringside on commentary for this
Correct.
next match
Harry titty.
between Chris Benoit and Charlie Haas. I was a big fan of A-Train, but I cannot name one single signature win he ever had. I don't think there is one.
He beat Ron Killings one time. R-Truth.
When he was K
When
Quick.
he was Lord Tensai.
Oh God, the Tens. I forgot about that. Lord Tensai. That
Tensai was
trash.
terrible.
Trash. Look at this Japanese guy. We're like, it's Albert.
Yeah.
He's literally the whitest guy you have on the roster. What are you doing? The majority of this match is mat-based wrestling as A-Train talks to us with the personality of a baked potato, no toppings. Considering they're selling the No Mercy matchup of Benoit versus A-Train, Haas is actually getting a lot of offense in this match. Albert and Benoit have a stare off, allowing Haas to blindside Benoit outside the ring, and he blindsided him. It was rough. Haas dominates for a very long time until Benoit can get a reversal, and then hits a sharpshooter, but Haas gets the ropes. Then Haas gets a belly-to-belly on Benoit, but Benoit landed straight on his head. But shockingly,
Shocker.
Benoit hits a crossface, and then Albert attacks and gets the crossface on Benoit.
Benoit and Guerrero in one show. So awesome. I think WWE missed the boat on A-Train, though. He ended up in Japan after this run in WWE, and he went under the name Giant Bernard, and he was a big-time star over there. That's what they tried to do with Lord Tensai, but they just couldn't do it right.
It was a direct, like, they took that character and moved it.
Giant Bernard and brought him
over
over as Lord Tensai, but it just
terrible.
WWE couldn't do it right. But Haas damn near broke Benoit's neck with that belly-to-belly late in the match. That shit looks scary.
All I could think was Chad Gable hasn't aged a day since 2003. And then I have my next thought. Benoit hasn't aged a day since 2007.
This is true.
That's correct. He tragically killed everyone and passed away. A-Train says if Benoit can get behind him, he can ride. What? That's what he said. He said, if Benoit gets behind me, he can ride me. Well, maybe that's why he failed. Who knows? It's a good thing they put the A-Train on commentary here. He had so much, he spoke 14 words during the entire match. And most of them were talking about Benoit riding him from behind if he caught him. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's like,
and now we see a promo from TJ.
He can't get the sharpshooter on me. My legs are too big. Thanks, A-Train. That was great. That was really good. Up next, we see a promo for Lita, and more specifically, her book that was released, which I forgot was the thing.
I was really hoping you misspelled and it was boobs.
After her boobs were released, Mr. McMahon is up next with Sable, who's dressed like she worked at one of the hustler clubs we covered last week. Vince says he's got. What was she wearing? What was that?
Hooer clothing.
Hooer. Yes, that's correct. Vince says he's going to offer a second chance to Stephanie McMahon after she insisted that Lesnar face Undertaker at No Mercy, which started the Vince versus Steph I Quit match. Here comes Steph, and sweet googly moogly, is she hot here? My Lord. Steph says she will not change the title match, and she will not quit like Vince wants her to. This is a good promo spot, but it goes too long. Timmy, I'm going to need you to settle down. Vince reminisces and then tells Steph she's thrown it all away because she's defying him and is making him do this. Sable then calls Steph a disrespectful little bitch. Steph responds by telling Sable to go into the men's locker room and lay on her back like she's good at, which at that point I'm like, oh, shit. And then we have a lady fight here until Vince picks up Stephanie by the hair and body slams her. Finally, Undertaker comes out to the rescue and knocks out Vince. Then he goes for the choke slam, but Mr. Sable hits the ring and catches a big boot for his trouble, and Undertaker and Steph stand in the ring.
You guys think Vince ever banged Sable?
Yep.
I would find it hard to believe he did not.
$2.5 million in DC.
I think he did too.
Probably that night.
While
you know
Marmero watched.
I mean, after everything we've heard lately, you know he fucking tried. And Stephanie sucked as a face. She's way better as a heel.
No, I agree with that.
She looked good, but she's a good heel. She's not a good face.
She was a smoke show in this segment.
Yes. People say Triple H married her to be the boss. Shit, she's fucking hot, dude.
Yeah, duh.
Well, Dave, to your point, Vince coming out to the ring with ladies during this era doesn't age very well, and you just kind of go, hey, did you fuck her? Did you fuck her? Did you fuck her?
And if you pick one specifically, pick a woman, any woman, and to be like, hey, did he fuck so and so? Just ask it out loud.
Luna Vachon.
Bertha Faye.
The Raw.
Cloudy.
The Hoggett.
Santina Morella.
My God, Stephanie was hot.
Andy
Jesus.
Kaufman.
I can actually hear Steph's shirt screaming, trying to let those titties in. Just
that bra is screaming for help.
TJ, stop it!
I didn't do that one. Up next, we have a Mexican food delivery man as we watch Big Show tie his boots and then steal Eddie's burritos and starts to eat them. If you didn't know where this was going immediately after that point, I don't know what to tell you anymore.
Yeah, I knew exactly what was coming.
Then
Correct.
Big Show hawks a Lugan one and tells the delivery guy to make sure Eddie gets it. Match 4, Tajiri versus Billy Kidman for the WWE Cruiserweight title. This is the second title match on this show, and this is the second one in which the champion came out first. What are we doing here? Kidman appears to have gained a lot of weight since his WCW days. I mean, he looked good. He was just way bigger. Kidman has just returned from a rotator cuff injury, and that is what Tajiri is focusing on in this match. Kidman makes his comeback by hitting an enziguri, a tornado DDT, and then a BK bomb, which was really good looking, actually. But Tajiri latches on with the tarantula and goes for the buzzsaw kick, but misses. Kidman hits a reversal, but Tajiri hits a low blow and a buzzsaw kick for the win.
I've recently been watching some 1994 WWF and came to the conclusion that the 1-2-3 kid would have been a big star if Vince and company had a cruiserweight title for him back in the day instead of had him be a low mid-carder. Totally missed the boat there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, whenever everyone asks Bret Hart's best match is 94, they always say Owen. There was a match he had with 1-2-3 Kid in June on Monday Night Raw for the title that was exemplary.
Yeah.
That one doesn't get talked about enough.
Tajiri and Kidman can go, but this match was, I mean, would have been way better in WCW than in 2003 WWE. You know it wasn't going to get any good time or anything like that.
Right.
Because the Cruiserweight Championship was never taken seriously. By this time, it was a shell of what it was in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
And Tajiri's another one that I thought he was a really good heel over being a babyface. And I think he could have been a huge star with the right booking. It didn't matter that he didn't speak English.
Unless he was with Regal. That was his only good face run he had.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, I like that. This basic cruiserweight match, Tajiri's gimmick here is that he cheats. We've seen that already. Thanks.
Match 5, here it comes. Big Show is coming to the ring for his match, but is showing signs of indigestion after that burrito. Orlando Jordan is his opponent for the night. Show is selling his upset tummy, especially when Jordan hits some shoulder blocks into the midsection. Big Show then just leaves the ring, as he clearly needs to shit.
This is exactly what I meant by WWE not using Big Show correctly. He was
Yes.
a monster and booked like a clown. This was stupid.
Well, to be fair, Big Show has to poop. So let him go. Orlando Jordan has a remarkably unremarkable career here in WWE or anywhere else, really. He goes to
JBL's
TNA.
cabinet.
He's terrible. Fucking terrible.
He was also the Warriors' last match. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I knew that.
Or night before the Hall of Fame.
No, it was in Japan or something like that. It was his last match.
I think it was in Australia.
But
Good day.
Up next, we see a video package for Lesnar versus Undertaker, No Mercy. Unpopular opinion, this version of The Undertaker is my favorite one.
Nope, that's not unpopular. We all like it.
I love this one. Then we see Taz, the WWE magazine with Zach Gown on the cover, which I actually own right over there in my room. Oh, good. A Zach Gowan promo.
Do you have his leg as well?
I do too. That's by the magazine. It's like stapled to it. Now we're gonna see. Well, we're gonna hear Big Show taking a giant wet shit.
It's hot.
Then Eddie is.
I want to lick his butt after this.
Then Eddie is talking to him, which is weird. Stop it! Eddie admits it was him for vengeance against Show for his attacks. Eddie also reveals he took the toilet paper out as well. Then kicks the door off the stall, and when Big Show stands up, there's no possible way he did not shit all over the floor.
So dumb.
So dumb.
So what I love about all of this is that it's a huge wet shit, and like Eddie gave him the burrito, and like the payoff is, oh, I took the toilet paper. Really? Motherfucker's been having stomach cramps for an hour and a half, and you're like, I got toilet paper.
It's pretty smart. Have fun using your socks. Main event: John Cena and Brock Lesnar against Kurt Angle and the Kurt Angle and the Undertaker. Kurt and John start the match off, and Angle takes Cena to school, just wiping the mat with him. And then the Undertaker tags in to a huge ovation. Crowd's loving them some Undertaker here. Angle tags back in, and Angle's on top until Lesnar pulls down the top rope. Angle flies out and takes one of the worst bumps I've ever seen. And now Cena's on the advantage. He landed straight on his dome.
Yeah, it was bad.
Michael Cole tells us how much better Lesnar is now than he was last year, and says Undertaker may be in the best shape of his life as he stands on the apron with a giant elbow brace on. Lesnar is dominating until Angle slips out of a shoulder press, and they both go crashing to the mat again. Undertaker makes the tag, but the ref doesn't see it. Undertaker gets the hot tag and hits snake eyes on Lesnar, and then clotheslines him out of the ring, but somehow Lesnar lands on his head outside the ring. Taker hits a choke slam on Cena, but Lesnar breaks up the count. Angle tags in, hits the 3 Germans on Cena, but Cena grabs his lock, knocks out Angle, and gets the win.
This Cena was the best Cena. So much better than that hustle.
It was very good.
Shit.
The
rapper Cena was awesome. No, he was the best.
Good. It was
that
good.
fake Marine bullshit coming out, hustle loyalty, fuck all that. Give me the rapper who's a dickhead. That's the one I liked.
It was good.
I've always wondered
I would
how
like
wrestling
somewhere in the middle, which is probably what John Cena's actually like.
I've always wondered how wrestling would have been different had Lesnar not left WWE. I always thought Batista got to where he was because Lesnar left.
He was 47, so.
I still think Batista makes
sense. With that being said, Batista versus Lesnar would have been fun.
Yes, it would have.
That is like the dream match we've never gotten, and no one even talks about it.
Imagine Heyman and Batista like dueling on mics. Been phenomenal. Batista's an underrated promo. He's really good.
Well, he's an actor.
Yes.
But how loaded was this roster? Cena.
Are you sure
Lesnar,
it wasn't a loser roster?
Yeah. Taker, Angle, Benoit, Guerrero, Big Show, and former WCW World Heavyweight Champion and Florida State Seminole legend Ron Simmons. And all of that is just on SmackDown. That's insane. But Angle, he's out of place as a face. Same thing with Tajiri, same thing with Stephanie.
Yep,
Dude is made to be a heel. The only time his face run ever really worked for me was his feud with Austin in 2001.
Very good. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And Cena was still green here. You could see it, that he was going to be a star just because he was so good on the microphone, but he was very green in the ring still.
He already fit in the main event he debuted earlier in the year.
Yep. But Cena got the pin on Angle, and it all made sense when you look and see they face each other at the pay-per-view No Mercy, and Angle got his win back.
A lot of talent in that main event. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was SmackDown. That was the B show. B show, main event.
We're leading up
Cena,
to No Mercy.
Angle. Yeah, fuck.
It's not even SummerSlam. It's No Mercy. It's a write-off pay-per-view. And they're like,
right?
4 Hall of Famers in a tag match.
I thought it was odd to have Brock and Cena tag together. That's fuck. I wouldn't want to
Wouldn't-
face them in a street fight. No,
No,
thank you.
that wouldn't work now, by the way.
Brock could beat the fuck out of you while Cena tells you how shitty you are.
Yeah.
That's how that would work out. And of course, the other team isn't lacking for talent either. I mean, Undertaker and Angle, they kind of made their bones at this point. And as much pain as Angle is in here, he looks in phenomenal shape and takes that fucking bump you were talking about. Jesus.
He didn't even bother to like try to catch himself on the ropes. He just
No,
flew over.
It was a low
Yeah.
bridge, and he's just like, "Hey, all right, I'll land on my head. It's fine."
He had his arms and hands tucked. There was no chance he was catching the ropes.
Jesus, our angle's so good. You could smell. You could tell SmackDown wasn't live here. There's some bad camera cuts in the match, so I would like to have seen the full match. It was 49 minutes, I'm sure. And then that damn cheater, John Cena. Heel John Cena, he's terrible.
I have to be honest here. I loved the finish of this match.
It was good.
All the stories going on, just based off this episode of the recap packages they gave us. No one saw this match and was like, Cena's going to win this. No one thought that.
And I actually typed it and deleted it when it came out. I was like, oh, Cena's taking the pin here.
Yep. When I was watching it, Cena's getting pinned here.
And he won. Yeah. I loved it. Loved it. Now we get some post-match activities between Undertaker and Lesnar that ends with Undertaker choke slamming Lesnar through the announce table as we go off the air. I would murder for a 40-year-old Undertaker to be on the roster again.
Yeah.
Undertaker was doing.
I imagine murdering for a 35-year-old Undertaker.
Well, here's what I mean. I think so. He was Big Evil. Well, he returned. What was it? 2000 at Judgment Day, and he started doing the biker thing, the biker gimmick. It was Rock and Triple H. The Rock and Triple H Iron Man match is when he came back, and he was wearing he was the Denim Dan Undertaker. And it was kind of weird because he's trying to find his place. But when he officially became Big Evil and cut his hair, he was about 39. So he's about 40 here. And I think this is his best shit.
Yeah.
I
prefer Biker Taker. I prefer like actual, because this was the closest to Mark Calloway you're going to get.
Yes. And he's just fighting motherfuckers here. He adopted the MMA thing, started wearing the gloves. He's just fighting dudes. That's all he's doing. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to jump off the top rope. I'm going to knock your fucking teeth in. That's the Undertaker we got here. But our gimmick never gets old. And if you enjoyed this week's episode, please let us know. Give us that 5-star review wherever you get this podcast. Make sure to follow the show on Twitter at FFPopcast. Follow the network on Twitter at FilterFreeNet. Become a $10 dummy head at www.patreon.com/filterfree. As for us, you can find us on Twitter using the handles of the following: Dave
at Dave and the QC,
Timmy C
at Timmy C 1979,
and I am at T Stevens 91. Up next, we're going to cover something I didn't know existed: World Class Championship Wrestling from October 24th, 1987. Now, I'm going to let the listeners know I've already researched this show. There is a lot to talk about, strictly from a wrestling standpoint, at this show. You're not going to want to miss it. A lot of research here. You're going to have faith in this episode.
We got to have faith for faith for faith. I got to have faith for faith for faith.
The scabs will not heal.
Baby!
Spoiler alert. The scabs won't heal. Doug Jarvis finally takes a break, and so much more. This has been the Filter Free Podcast, and so long for now.
Dad joke of the week. What vegetable is cool, but not that cool? Radish.
Oh my God.